Imagine standing at the edge of a vast arena, the crowd roaring, lights blinding. This is where dreams are chased and life is truly lived. The choice: stay safely in the stands or step into the center, risking failure but also the chance to soar. Brene Brown's daring greatly invites us to embrace vulnerability, not as weakness but as the birthplace of love, belonging, and joy. This essay will unpack how daring greatly can help us dismantle shame and fear and live braver, more authentic lives. Vulnerability. It's a word that often carries a heavy weight, doesn't it? It's often mistaken for weakness, a flaw to be hidden, a chink in our armor. We live in a society that often equates strength with stoicism, with an unyielding facade. But Brene Brown's groundbreaking research reveals a profound truth. Vulnerability is actually the truest measure of courage. It's not about being fragile, it's about daring to show up as your authentic self, even when there's no guarantee of a positive outcome. It's about embracing the uncertainty and emotional risk that come with being human. It's the raw emotion we feel in moments of uncertainty, that knot in your stomach when you don't know what's coming next. It's the feeling of being exposed, of not having all the answers, of potentially being judged. Risk, the willingness to step outside your comfort zone, to try something new, to put yourself on the line. It's about taking a leap of faith, even when you can't see the landing. And emotional exposure, the act of sharing your feelings, your fears, your dreams with another person. It's about letting someone see you, truly see you, with all your imperfections and vulnerabilities. Like saying, "I love you" first, that heart-stopping moment of revealing your deepest feelings, not knowing if they'll be reciprocated. It's a vulnerable act of profound courage. Or admitting a mistake, swallowing your pride and acknowledging your fallibility, taking responsibility for your actions even when it's uncomfortable. Vulnerability is the foundation of genuine connection. It's the bridge that allows us to truly see and be seen by others. It's the key ingredient in building trust and intimacy. Without it, relationships remain shallow, superficial, and creativity is stifled, unable to flourish in the absence of authenticity. The opposite isn't strength, but emotional armor, the walls we build to protect ourselves from pain, the masks we wear to hide our true selves. Perfectionism, the relentless pursuit of an unattainable ideal, a shield against criticism and judgment. Numbing, the attempt to avoid uncomfortable feelings through distractions, substances, or other coping mechanisms. Cynicism that isolates us, creating a barrier between ourselves and the world, preventing us from experiencing joy and connection. Embracing vulnerability means accepting imperfection, recognizing that we are all flawed, that we all make mistakes, and that this is part of what makes us human, and choosing authenticity over approval. It's about being true to yourself, even when it means risking disapproval or rejection. It's the courage to invest in relationships, to open your heart to others knowing that you might get hurt, to show up without guarantees, and to be real, to let go of the need to control the outcome and simply be present in the moment. This is daring greatly, the only path to a wholehearted, connected life, a life filled with meaning, purpose, and genuine connection. It's about embracing vulnerability, not as a weakness, but as the ultimate act of courage. Nowhere is vulnerability more vital or more challenging than at home. Daring greatly in family means creating a space where everyone feels safe to be imperfect. Parents model strength by admitting mistakes and apologizing, teaching kids that love isn't conditional on performance. Vulnerability builds trust and true intimacy between partners, allowing honest conversations about needs and fears. Families that dare greatly together become sanctuaries of belonging, where mistakes are growth opportunities and emotions are honored. It's not about perfection, but about handling conflict with empathy and respect, raising courageous children and thriving together. In the traditional workplace, vulnerability is often misconstrued as a liability, a weakness to be hidden. We're taught to project strength and competence at all times, fearing that any display of uncertainty will be exploited. But in reality, vulnerability is actually the key to unlocking innovation and building genuine trust within teams. It's about creating an environment where people feel safe enough to be themselves, to share their ideas, and to admit when they don't have all the answers. Daring greatly at work means creating a culture where it's not only safe but encouraged to take risks, to experiment, and even to fail. It's about fostering a mindset of continuous learning and improvement, where mistakes are seen as opportunities for growth rather than sources of shame. It also means having the courage to voice concerns, to challenge the status quo, and to speak truth to power, even when it's uncomfortable. And it requires the humility to ask for help when you need it, to acknowledge your limitations, and to lean on your colleagues for support. Leaders who model vulnerability by openly admitting mistakes, actively seeking feedback from their teams, and sharing their own struggles build trust and empower their teams to take ownership, to be creative, and to contribute their best work. This approach fosters creativity by creating a space where people feel free to explore new ideas without fear of judgment. It also enhances collaboration, as team members are more likely to share their knowledge and expertise when they feel safe and respected. Ultimately, it builds resilience, enabling organizations to adapt to change, overcome challenges, and become more agile and human-centered. When we show up authentically at work, embracing our vulnerabilities and imperfections, we don't just become better employees or leaders, we create workplaces where everyone feels valued, respected, and empowered to thrive, both personally and professionally. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is the birthplace of courage, innovation, and genuine connection in any professional setting, paving the way for a more fulfilling and impactful work experience for all. Friendships deepen in direct proportion, not just to the amount of time we spend together, but to the depth of our shared experiences and the authenticity of our interactions. It's about more than just surface-level conversations. It's about forging bonds that withstand the test of time and circumstance, to our willingness to be vulnerable. It requires us to shed our protective layers and reveal our true selves, flaws and all. This vulnerability is the fertile ground where genuine connections take root and flourish. Daring greatly with friends means sharing our real struggles, the challenges we face, and the fears that haunt us. It's about trusting them with our innermost thoughts and feelings, knowing that they will offer support and understanding, not judgment. Not just the highlights, the carefully curated versions of ourselves that we often present to the world. It's about showing the messy, imperfect parts of our lives, the moments of doubt and the times when we feel lost or overwhelmed, and being there for each other in tough times. Offering a shoulder to cry on, a listening ear, or a helping hand when life throws its inevitable curveballs. It's about showing up, even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. True connection is built when we lower our armor, the defenses we erect to protect ourselves from hurt and rejection. It's about taking a risk and allowing ourselves to be seen for who we truly are without pretense or facade, and let others see our imperfections. Recognizing that we are all flawed individuals, and that it is in our imperfections that we find our unique beauty and strength. It's about embracing our vulnerabilities and accepting ourselves and each other unconditionally. It also means having hard conversations, addressing conflicts, expressing disagreements, and navigating difficult emotions with honesty and respect. Setting boundaries, clearly communicating our needs and limits, and respecting the boundaries of others. It's about creating a safe and healthy space where everyone feels comfortable and respected, expressing hurt with honesty and care. Sharing our pain and vulnerability in a way that is both authentic and respectful, allowing for healing and growth. These acts transform acquaintances into chosen family, people who love and support us unconditionally, who celebrate our triumphs and comfort us in our sorrows, creating relationships that provide a sense of belonging, purpose, and meaning in our lives. These are the bonds that sustain us through life's challenges and enrich our experiences, where we can be fully ourselves. Without fear of judgment or rejection, we can express our true thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, knowing that we will be accepted and loved for who we are. When we're brave enough to be vulnerable, when we dare to show our true selves to others, we open ourselves up to the possibility of deep and meaningful connection. We give and receive the gift of being truly seen and loved. It's a gift that enriches our lives, strengthens our spirits, and reminds us that we are not alone on this journey. If vulnerability is the path to courage, shame is the wall that blocks it. Shame tells us we're unworthy of love and belonging, convincing us to hide and pretend. It thrives in secrecy and silence, isolating us from connection and growth. Recognizing our shame triggers, whether it's body image, money, or failure, is the first step to disarming them. Naming and sharing our shame brings it into the light, stripping it of its power. Only then can we step back into the arena and live bravely. The antidote to shame is empathy, the ability to connect with and understand another's feelings. When we share our struggles and are met with empathy, shame loses its grip. Empathy requires vulnerability, setting aside judgment to truly listen and be present. Supportive friendships, therapy, and self-compassion all help build shame resilience. It's not about never feeling shame, but about reaching out for connection when we do. Treating ourselves with kindness as we would a friend reminds us we are worthy of love even when we stumble. Living courageously isn't about grand gestures, but small, daily acts of vulnerability. Start by noticing where you choose comfort over courage, then take one small step into the arena. Define your core values. Let them guide your choices, especially when fear arises. Normalize discomfort. Fear is a sign you're growing, not a stop sign. Every small act of courage builds your capacity for a wholehearted, meaningful life. The arena is waiting, and your one precious life is calling. Daring greatly means committing to authenticity, compassion, and connection, even when it's hard. The reward isn't perfection, but a life rich with belonging, creativity, and love. Take a deep breath and choose one small way to step into the arena today. Your courage will inspire others to do the same. Dare greatly, your life is waiting for you.